Man, you told me the other day a 25-cent piece, American quarter, before John F. Kennedy was shot, when there was silver in 1964, right? Was the last year, and he died in 63, and then right away they switched to.
Actually, just tomorrow's his anniversary.
It's what a coincidence, So a 25-cent piece, you said, is now worth over $8 in real value, but in America it's worth 25 cents. So the damn thing, money has lost 90% of its value in just the last generation. Right after World War II, the country really changed.
Yeah, I saw that bit you sent me about how 5 quarters used to, in 1964, were the hourly wage.
Oh, yeah, probably.
And now, those 5 quarters are worth $40.
$40.
But we're not getting $40 an hour.
Yeah, right. So wages were much higher, and they weren't forced by law. Minimum wage. Yeah, true.
Now you could live on one way. One husband could work and have a wife and a couple of kids.
25 cents. So money is totally, and they give us a perception that, the world is so expensive, or the rich are greedy, and they give us this perception. So I understand why people are angry at this image. That's not true. They're totally wrong. It's like being angry at left when the problem is right. The perpetrators. And this is what we have here. Obviously, 25 cents is now worth $8. Yeah, right. $40 an hour. A few quarters. Crazy. What a fallen. And, 50 euro bills now, every time I go to the bank machine, they're new. I mean, they must be printing money like mad. There's no more old bills. They're printing money like mad, obviously. And this is how they did things in the old days, when the governments were in debt, or they expanded their balance sheets, or they expanded their expenses, their costs. In the old days, of course, before Kennedy got shot, the government would need to debase their metal coins by they would take, let's say, a silver coin and put some other metals in it that reduced the value, so they could stretch their money supply. Okay, and that's all Gresham's laws and all these things about good money drives out bad, or bad money drives out good, and whatever, So in the old days, there wasn't really. Now they print paper, but the idea is the same. They're debasing. I mean, it's paper now. It has no real value except what we give it as a mental image. It's our minds give the dollar value, but what can you use it for? Toilet paper, cigarettes, rolling, perhaps. I mean, right? It's paper. It's further and further removed from nature and utilitarian purpose. Like in the old days, which is interesting, the Roman coins, let's say, were bronze. Let's say a lot of them, and then you say, well, bronze. Well, bronze is a little bit of a armor. Or a sword, you get enough little drachma together and, melt it down, send it to a blacksmith. You can make some armor. It's a little bit of something tangible that can be used. It's interesting. So yeah, it's real. It has a tangible value. Now it's all virtual, of course. It's paper. And I'm not saying that we should go to the metal standard, go back to the gold standard. That's not what I'm saying. Just pointing out that in the old days, debasement was done basically the same way. They devalued their monies. So now at 90%, it's the same idea. Did you see that? Did you see that 50 euros since I mentioned it? How it turns into Satan? I mean, it's pretty spooky, man. When I saw this the first time, I kind of... Let me see here. Is this the one? Yeah, the 50 euro with the stars around it. If you line it up this way and put it in a mirror. Oh, but you have to do it this way, I think. Yeah, the long way. Yeah, it's right there. So check that out. You can see this is half of the devil. Right there.
See the horn?
Have you seen this before? So you go up to a mirror and put this in a mirror image. And this is what's interesting, because now it's Satan, it's the devil. This is probably Baal-Hanan, because it's a horn of like a cow, which is Baal-Hanan. And I've said on these videos a few times that this is who we are worshiping in America or in Europe. We just don't know it. We just think we're agnostic to Christianity, because Christianity is some awful religion that oppresses people, especially women. Tells them that they can't, abort babies, and tells them that they need to stay married, and all these awful ideas. And so people that want freedom don't like religion, of course, because they want unlimited freedom and no responsibility. And they don't, and who cares about the country and where it goes? Because we're all little planets. But yeah, this is Baal-Hanan. Remember, Baal from football, baseball, basketball. Well, who were these people? These were the Semites. They came from North Africa. So after, that's a long story, but bread and circuses in Rome, give people food and entertainment, sports. You can rob the country blind.
Just give them something to entertain them.
Yeah, so it's like a sports could be in a bigger viewpoint from the sky. It could be viewed as a tool to rob, to steal and rob, because the people are happy, kind of satisfied, but they're only working on their creature indulgences and inclinations and needs. There's no higher spiritual development. There's nothing internal developing, because animals also need food, shelter. Animals need, they just don't go to work and get a job, but they go to work and get some treats. Bees work their ass off, birds to eat. Well, it's not that different. We just drive a car and pay insurance to an insurance company. Same idea. So these are our basic creature needs, And so now the question is, how do you develop your spirit? Instead of trying to get more money so you could have more things or something, like more nuts if you were a squirrel, So how would you do this? And, these are spiritual ideas. And the Romans would have their gods, like music or art or battle or justice, or, the different gods to promote each virtue.